Welcome to Blood Sugar Squad, your go-to channel for simple, actionable tips to manage diabetes and live your best life. You have probably heard that sweet potatoes are healthier than white potatoes. Maybe you have even swapped out your regular spuds for the orange ones, thinking you were making a better choice for your blood sugar. Today, we are going to settle the potato debate once and for all. We will compare white potatoes and sweet potatoes side by side, look at the numbers, and show you exactly how to enjoy both without spiking your blood sugar. We will also cover all the ways people eat potatoes: baked, boiled, mashed, fried, and even as chips and fries, because the preparation matters as much as the potato itself. Segment 1. The potato plot twist. Let's start with the numbers, because the numbers tell a story that surprises a lot of people. For years, sweet potatoes have worn the health halo, while white potatoes have been treated almost like the villain of the vegetable aisle. Many people with diabetes automatically reach for the orange potato without ever asking whether the difference is actually as dramatic as they've been led to believe. But once you compare them side by side, the story becomes much more interesting. A medium white potato, about 5 to 6 ounces, contains roughly 26 to 30 grams of carbohydrates, about 2 to 3 grams of fiber, and around 110 to 130 calories. A medium sweet potato of about the same size contains roughly 23 to 26 grams of carbohydrates, around 3 to 4 grams of fiber, and about 100 to 120 calories. So yes, the sweet potato has a slight nutritional edge. It contains a little less carbohydrate, a little more fiber, and fewer calories. But the difference is much smaller than many people expect. Now let's look at the glycemic index. A white potato can range anywhere from the low 50s to well into the 80s, depending on the variety, and, more importantly, how it's cooked. A boiled white potato generally falls into the moderate range, while a baked white potato can have a glycemic index of 85 or even higher. Sweet potatoes usually fall somewhere between the mid-40s and around 60, again depending on the variety and cooking method. That is lower, but it's not dramatically lower than a boiled white potato. The glycemic load, which many experts consider even more useful because it accounts for portion size, tells a similar story. A medium white potato has a glycemic load of roughly 12 to 15, while a medium sweet potato typically falls around 8 to 11. So here's the first surprise. White potatoes are not the nutritional disaster many people believe they are, and sweet potatoes are not a free pass. Both are nutritious vegetables. Both can fit into a diabetes-friendly eating plan. And both can raise your blood sugar if you eat oversized portions or prepare them the wrong way. Segment 2. How you cook it changes everything. Baked potatoes are one of the most popular choices. But baking breaks down more of the starch, making it easier to digest. As a result, baked white potatoes tend to have a higher glycemic index than boiled potatoes. Baked sweet potatoes usually come in a little lower, but again, the difference isn't nearly as dramatic as most people think. Boiling is generally the better choice for blood sugar. Boiled potatoes, whether white or sweet, retain more resistant starch and usually produce a smaller glucose response than baking or roasting. Mashed potatoes tell a different story. Mashing physically breaks apart the potato structure, making the starch easier to digest. That means mashed potatoes often produce a faster rise in blood sugar than boiled potatoes, even when they're made from the exact same potato. French fries and potato chips are where things really start to go downhill. Frying adds large amounts of fat and calories, and restaurant portions are often much larger than people realize. Then comes the ketchup. A single tablespoon of ketchup only contains a few grams of carbohydrate, but it's surprisingly easy to use 3 or 4 tablespoons without thinking about it. By itself, the ketchup usually isn't the biggest problem. It's the combination of a large serving of fries plus several tablespoons of ketchup that quietly adds up. Sweet potato fries are often marketed as the healthier choice. While they do contain slightly more fiber and much more vitamin A than regular fries, they're still fried potatoes. The frying process adds fat and calories, so they shouldn't be viewed as a guilt-free substitute. There is one potato trick that many people have never heard of. If you cook potatoes, cool them overnight, and then reheat them the next day, some of the starch changes into what's called resistant starch. Resistant starch is digested more slowly and can reduce the blood sugar impact of the meal. This works with both white potatoes and sweet potatoes, and reheating doesn't completely reverse the effect. Even potato salad made from cooled potatoes can benefit from this, although sugary dressings can quickly offset some of the advantage. So here's the bottom line. A boiled white potato is usually a better blood sugar choice than a baked sweet potato, and a fried sweet potato is usually a worse choice than a baked white potato. Preparation matters more than the color of the potato. Segment 3. So which potato actually wins? Sweet potatoes have a slight nutritional edge, but it's much smaller than most people think. When potatoes are prepared the same way and eaten in sensible portions, both white potatoes and sweet potatoes can fit into a diabetes-friendly meal. The bigger question isn't, which potato am I eating? It's, what does the rest of my plate look like? A moderate serving of potato alongside grilled chicken, fish, or beans, and plenty of non-starchy vegetables will affect your blood sugar very differently than a large order of fries with a sugary drink. The potato is only one part of the story. Toppings matter too. Butter, sour cream, cheese, and bacon don't magically cancel out the carbohydrates in a potato. While they may slow digestion somewhat, they also add significant calories, so it's easy for a simple baked potato to turn into a much heavier meal than you intended. Another common question is whether you should eat the potato skin or peel it off. If the potato is clean and in good condition, leaving the skin on is usually the better choice. The skin contains fiber along with vitamins, minerals, and beneficial plant compounds that are lost when it's peeled away. The extra fiber won't eliminate the blood sugar impact of the potato, but it can help slow digestion a bit while adding more nutrition. Whether you're eating white potatoes or sweet potatoes, keeping the skin on is an easy way to get a little more nutritional value from every serving. White potatoes and sweet potatoes are not enemies. They're both nutritious, versatile foods that can absolutely fit into a diabetes-friendly lifestyle. Judge them by the way they're prepared, the portion you're eating, and what you're eating alongside them. Those choices have a much bigger impact on your blood sugar than whether the potato is white or orange. And here's one final tip that can make all the difference. Let your own blood sugar be your guide. If you use a glucose meter or continuous glucose monitor, pay attention to how your body responds after eating different types of potatoes, prepared in different ways and in different portions. Everyone's body is a little different, and your own glucose readings are an important factor. Segment 4. Final thoughts. If there's one thing to remember, it's that no single potato determines whether a meal is diabetes-friendly. The choices you make in the kitchen and on your plate have a much bigger influence on your blood sugar than whether the potato is white or orange. Choose cooking methods like boiling whenever possible. Keep portions reasonable. Pair your potato with lean protein and plenty of non-starchy vegetables. And remember the simple cook-cool-reheat trick to boost resistant starch. Small changes like these can make a meaningful difference over time without giving up foods you enjoy. Which potato do you prefer? Have you ever compared your blood sugar after eating white potatoes versus sweet potatoes? Comment below, and please share this video with someone who still believes white potatoes are completely off limits for people with diabetes. Until next time, stay strong, stay sweet, but not too sweet, and keep thriving with the Blood Sugar Squad.